Emma, how does it feel now to finally have Olympian attached to your name? I know you didn't want to take that for granted, and we're very cautious about using that before today. How does it feel to have that now attached to your name?
It feels great. I'm very honored that I get the chance to represent my country in the Olympic Games. So I'm just very excited right now to see what's to come, because I'm not sure what to expect yet.
When did you officially find out that you were going to be on this Olympic team? When did Sweden notify you?
In the beginning of the month.
Beginning of the month?
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like, sharing that with your family and friends? And I don't know if, like Ashton, you had to keep it secret at all or anything like that.
Like obviously they told me that I needed to keep it secret, but you can always like tell your closest ones. Like my family was very excited, and my friends and the team found out last week too, and everyone has been so happy for me.
What stands out to you about this team? I was reading only 9 players on the roster with the Olympic experience. Obviously, you have Sarah, your fellow goaltender, who's been to, this is her 4th now. But what else stands out to you about this roster that you guys are taking to Beijing?
I was gonna say, like, a lot of these people on the team I played with in like U18s and stuff. So I think we have a good, skilled, younger group, and that's why we have, like, I think it was 13 first-time Olympians. So I think we have a hardworking group. As you said, not as much routine, but I think we can go far on the hard work and skill that we have.
What's the schedule like for you? When do you have to leave UMD to join Team Sweden?
I fly out on Friday to Sweden, and then
this Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we head out to Beijing on the 27th.
Okay. Do you know what the quarantine rules, like how long you have to quarantine once you get there?
I don't think we have to quarantine at all. So we have like testing before, we'll be tested right at the airport, and then we'll be tested every day.
How do you see yourself kind of fitting into that goaltender rotation there? Obviously, Sarah has, the ridiculous amount of Olympic goaltending experience and world championship goaltending experience. How do you see yourself fitting in there?
I think like they're probably gonna have Sarah as their number 1 goalie, but both like when we went to Switzerland in December and the Olympic qualifications, I still got a game, so it can be. I think I have the second position as, like, if they want to rotate someone in, I have the chance to play.
How different is that for you compared to your role at UMD here?
Well, obviously it's different now when I've been playing, but I was behind Maddie for a couple of years, so it's like I know what to expect, and I know what to do to like help a team and cheer on, even though you can't do it from the ice all the time.
Kleiner, I just looked it up. You've played with 7 of the 10 Bulldogs who are going to the Olympics this time. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
You've been here a long time. What was it like, Anna, to play with Jocelyn the Rock back in 2010? For you, I'm just curious, Anna, for you, what's it like to have all these Olympic teammates? And since you have one sitting there right next to you, I'm not going to ask you which team you're rooting for in the Olympics here, though Sweden has the most of your former teammates with 3.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's really crazy when I like keep going on Twitter and there's new announcements about more girls that have made the team. So being able to see that is super cool. I was just talking, I messaged Linnea. She was like my mentor coming into Duluth. So I still have a pretty good relationship with her, just talking to her about that. And I mean, Katka, Mish, Ashton. So it's like there's just so many people that are going, and I'm like really excited because basically every game that I'm going to watch, I'm going to know someone.
So a lot of late nights for you watching former teammates, and maybe some early mornings, however that schedule shakes out.
Emma, with Maddie Rooney also backstopping Team USA, what does it mean now to be yet another Bulldog goaltender going on to represent UMD in the Olympics?
I think it shows like how good environment it is at UMD for goaltenders. We have great support staff. Like for a couple of years, we have had Espo and we have Lou here that helps us on a daily basis to help us grow. And I don't think every team has an assistant coach who's also very like have a lot of knowledge about goaltending as well. So I think we're very fortunate because of that.
Maura, while we're on the topic of the Olympics here, what's it mean for you? You as well, 7 former players on the Bulldogs, and I know you have more from your time at Harvard as well, but just in your time at UMD, 7 players moving on to these Olympics.
It's
What's
awesome.
that feel like?
Awesome. It's a huge accomplishment for them. You know, we're a small part of their journey, and I'm so happy for Sods, the latest one, and her family. Really, the families are the ones that have been carting the kids to rinks early in the morning for their whole lives, and it's such a amazing moment for them. And we couldn't be happier to have them represent UMD on the highest stage.
Anna, a big weekend coming up. How do you guys kind of build off of? Do you kind of feel like it's almost like a perfect timing where you had just had this big rush of goals going into such a big series against Ohio State?
Yeah, I think we always get pumped up to play Ohio State. They're a good team. I mean, obviously they're ranked number 2 right now. Going to their place is hard, but I think we've been preparing well this week at practice, just focusing on different aspects. Like, even though we swept Bemidji this weekend, we know we can be better, and we know that Ohio State's a much better team. So we're just trying to be as best prepared as we can be to play them. But I think we're all super excited. It's always a fun series when we play them.
Anna and even Emma, can you give us a scouting report on the goaltenders that are going to be taking over, I guess, for the rest of the regular season here now until Emma gets back from the Olympics? What should we expect? You know, we've seen a bit from JoJo already in games this year.
I mean, like they're 2 great goaltenders. Like they work hard every day in practice, and I don't know. Like JoJo's been doing great every time she had a chance to jump into the net. So I think we're in a very good spot going forward.
Anna, give us the shooter's perspective on JoJo without revealing anything that you don't want the Buckeyes to maybe have. What stands out to you about her as a goaltender?
Well, I don't really know much actually about goaltending skills, but I can tell you that no matter what goalie we're going against in practice, it's going to be hard to score. I have all my faith in every single one of these girls, no matter who's going to be in net. I know that they're going to kill it. And it's been showing at practice this year. I know it can be hard for those 2, just like having Sods in front of them. And obviously she's a great goaltender, but I think they've been able to learn a lot from her, and they've been showing up at practice, which in that position is all you can do. So I think we're excited to see them play, and I can't wait.
So you mentioned you've been in that position. You were behind Maddie and didn't get a lot of chances. What kind of advice and what kind of help have you given your fellow goaltenders, and how does being in that position you feel kind of make you better?
I would just like say like be ready for anything, because you don't know when you get the chance to jump in. And for me, it was like I was gonna make sure that I did what I could in practice, even knowing I might not get the game, but I'm still gonna get better every day and ask for feedback so I can get better. And then, yeah, as I said, just be ready for it when it comes.
Kleiner, what do you guys feel like you did really well in that first game against Ohio State when you got the win, and what's the key to closing out a really tough Buckeyes team in a series?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both pretty quick transition teams. I think we actually have a lot of similarities when we play them. The biggest thing I would say is we came out so ready to go. The first period, scoring 3 goals on them right away. They're not an easy team to score on. They also aren't used to getting scored on that much. So I think the fast start was what really helped us on Friday, and then just closing it out throughout the game. I think we had a great second period with shutdown defense. Just putting together a full 60 is huge against a good team like them.
Maura, give us your thoughts on the 2 goaltenders that are gonna have to step in now, do you ride JoJo? Do we, what's it look like going against, Ohio State seems like a tough team to start against, to possibly make your first college starts.
JoJo's actually played Ohio State in the
them?
final face-off last year when we had to switch goalies.
That's right. She came on in relief in that game, but I'm thinking making that start and being out there from, start to finish possibly.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and we'll see what their goalie situation is, because Brantley's playing for Switzerland. So I don't know when their departure dates are per se, but they could be in a similar role. And, if that's the case, we played their backup, Teely, who is on my U18 team, a very talented goalie. And I look at JoJo much like Sodes, not in style, but in situation. Sometimes you just have a tremendous goalie in front of you and you have to wait for your opportunities. And this is a similar situation where she has a great opportunity in front of us, in front of her. And as the player said, she works her butt off every day in practice. And she's been with us for 1.5 years. So it's not like, oh my goodness, we've never seen this kid play. We see her play every single day. And she's very cool, calm, and collected. That's kind of her demeanor. Always has been goalie coached for most of her life, so knows the position really well. Some respectable coaches that we know well, that Lou works with closely. So JoJo is very capable, has a lot of size, smart goaltender. Holly's different than JoJo. She's more of an active, she's a little on the smaller side compared to JoJo, but super active, athletic, working on staying on her feet. And I like the 1-2 punch there if we need to use both of them, because it gives you a very different look. And I would say challenging for opponents to figure out.
Did Klein pretty much nail the scouting report there on the Buckeyes, that this is a team that you're in a much better position? I feel like whether it's Buckeyes, Badgers, Gophers, probably even playing against you, if you can jump out to a lead, it's a makes things a lot, I don't want to say easier, but it allows you to control the game a lot more rather than having to try and fight back.
Yeah, if you reflect on the last series, that's what each team did to get the win, right? We got 3 goals in the first, held on because we're tough to score against too, held on for the win. The next day they got 2 goals, I believe, in the first period and built from there. So it's important. And if there are no goals scored in the first period, I wouldn't be surprised either. So it's I think it's just 2 really evenly matched teams, 2 teams that like to play a tough brand of hockey, 2 teams that like to attack in the offensive zone. So, I think it's going to be a fun series. We haven't been down to Columbus in a while, so I'm excited to get on the plane tomorrow and get back to Columbus and have a good weekend.
Maura, do you feel like your goalie group kind of gets a lot of work in practice, given who they're getting their shots from?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a 2-way street. Our goalies are better because of our players, and our players are better because of our goalies. It's not easy. Like Kleiner said, it's not easy to score at practice. And it's probably not easy to make saves at practice either. So I think that's, when people talk about development, how do you develop players? You put really good players on the ice together who want to compete every single day at practice, and it sort of takes care of itself. So those goalies, while they haven't been in games a lot, they're developing every single day.
Or if you look at the difference between your guys' series in December, so a little bit over a month ago, now you're going to Columbus, into their home, their rink. What do you feel like the things that you guys have really been able to fine tune the most, that you're really looking forward to seeing your team bring out onto the ice? And I know you've talked a little bit about how awesome it is to see the depth that you guys have, whether it's in the goalie position or other positions, that, next man up mentality, or next lady up mentality.
Yeah, it's funny, we look back on the film, we're going over it as coaches a little bit this morning, and we feel like we're way better than we were even in early December, which is a really good feeling. And it's not like an overall, specific, it's not a specific thing, I should say. It's just overall our habits. That's something we've been talking about a lot. Our habits are just better. So that's, on the forecheck, you're going hard. Okay, you don't do your job, you're coming back hard, because we go two ways hard. And it's just those little habits. Okay, you didn't get the puck there. Now you got to work hard to get it back on the back end. And that allows our D to stay up, which is how we want to play. We want our D to get involved offensively. That's something that we've been working on a lot this second half that we talked about in the first half, but really are trying to implement more in the second half. And that's not just, pass the puck to the D on the blue line and get a shot. It's more the way we come up the ice as a group. So habits are a big thing that I think have gotten better, understanding the little nuances of the game, incorporating our D in the offense and the rush. And we've also spent a lot of time on special teams since then. So happy with the way our special teams performed on Saturday. 100% on the kill, almost 100% on the PP, but there was some 4-on-4 time in there, and we want to continue that trajectory.
And just a quick thing, reflecting off of this past weekend and how special that was for your team with mental health in Sophie's squad. I know that you guys raised a ton of money, which is extremely special. And just to be able to have the platform you guys have and to really be building that, what was the feedback that you guys received, and how does Gabby feel about just overwhelming? I know you talked about the emotion that occurred in the weekend.
Yeah, just an unbelievable weekend. We've celebrated a variety of things over the years here and tried to raise money for different causes. But I think the most impactful ones are the ones that come from the players. And this one couldn't have been any more near and dear to Gabby's heart. And when you see a player like that with so much emotion and so much passion for this cause, it's hard not to get emotional yourself and get behind it. So I think that was really contagious for our team. And they certainly were playing for more than just the WCHA points. And I think, when I reflect on it, that the impact of that game and the conversations that came out of it will impact our team forever.